Hi.
Hi. First of all, know that your father's here. And it's funny because he was making these weird faces to me over there, like trying to get my attention from the other side. And first of all, he goes to me, Matt, my daughter's never going to believe that I'm here. She's never going to believe that I'm speaking like this. He says, because I was not like this in life, he said. Right. He said, I was always in the back. He says, I let everybody do their thing. He says, and still to this day, my daughter says she doesn't get signs from me. She doesn't feel me. She doesn't sense me. And your father goes to me, are you freaking kidding me? He goes, I'm in your house with you all the time, he says to me. And your father's ratting you out on the other side, by the way. He tells me you need to start sleeping. He tells me you're up all the friggin' time.
I am.
And your father goes, can you tell my daughter, he says, that first of all, now that I'm in heaven, he says, I see why she gets nothing done. He says, she's constantly up 24/7. He says, tell her to stop checking the phone, put the phone down. He says, and he says to me that you need to start cleaning your house because your house is a little bit messy, he says to me. Do you understand that?
I do.
He says to me this, and I don't want you to tell me another word, that's what you pay me for. The moment I'm connecting with your dad, this is a really tough reading to do because he tells me that you feel like you didn't get a proper goodbye with him here in the physical world because first of all, your dad hid all the things that were wrong with him here in this world. Your father was a very sick man, but he tells me that he did not talk about it. Right. And he tells me that his passing defeated you here in this world because you're like, if I just knew that my dad was sick, if I knew that he was so sick here in this world, I would have spent more time with him. I would have done more things with him. I would have had more conversations with him. Yeah. But all of a sudden, I see your dad dying and it was so tragic. And you're like, wait a minute, what was wrong with my dad? He had all of these issues. How come I didn't know? Do you understand that?
Yeah.
Your father tells me this. He says, Matt, you don't know. Within my life, he says, all I cared about was taking care of my family, taking care of my daughter. He says, and even though I didn't say I love you, even though I didn't show you my love the way that I should have, he says it was always implied. And I never want my daughter for 1 minute to think that I didn't love her, care about her, or that she didn't mean the world to me. Do you understand that?
I do.
Your dad wants to let you know that on the other side, he is so proud of you. And your dad says to me that, first of all, he's here telling you what you do at night and what he sees in your house because he wants you to know that he is still a part of your life and that he hasn't missed out on anything. Excuse me. Get a little bit of the acid reflux going on here. So know that one of the things is this. Your dad tells me, Matt, please tell my daughter that I want to thank her for trying to take care of me. He wants to thank you for taking care of your mother. He wants to thank you for all the things that you've done for your family. Because he says to me that you stepped right in to take care of your mom. He says, and Matt, that was her number one priority. And what you had happen with your father, you're like, I'm not going to let this happen to my mom. I'm not going to let this happen to my mom. I'm going to be there. I'm going to force her to go to the hospital. I'm going to do all these things. Do you understand that?
Yeah, my dad's been gone 30 years, but I just lost my mom.
He tells me. You didn't let me finish. Just don't tell me any information.
Sorry.
First of all, he's there and with her. And your father says to me, Matt, tell my daughter that I saw every single thing that she did for her. He tells me you were living with your mother and she was living with you. Because he's talking about at the end, about you being there 24/7 for her. Yeah. Do you know that your dad says to me, that's what made me so proud? He says to me, Matt, the one thing that I want to tell my daughter is this. Even though all of these years had passed, he still remembers you as a little girl here in this world. And he says to me, Matt, he goes, I remember her from when she was younger. He talks about these vacations where he'd bring you by the water here in the physical world. It looks like it's either the beach or a lake that I keep seeing. He says, those were my fondest memories. Know that I'm okay. And know that when it was time to say goodbye to your mom, your dad was there. He tells me that he wants to let you know that the same way that he was silent in life, but he was always there protecting you and watching over you, his soul is silently watching over you and protecting you on the other side. Just because you don't sense him or feel him doesn't mean that he's not there. He goes, Matt, that's not the type of spirit that I was when I was alive. It's not how I was when I died, he tells me. But I want her to know that I'm still a part of her life, and that's what's so beautiful. So know that as hard as it was to lose your mom, your dad tells me this. He says, Matt, I'm so happy that she got so many memories with her mother because that wasn't just her mom, that was her best friend. And when you lost her, you felt like you lost a piece of your heart and a piece of your life. But your dad says to me, Matt, we're here, we're together. We're both watching over her on the other side, and please let her know that. Oh shit, I'm gonna get in trouble now. He's also telling me that your mother had like a boyfriend as well, though. He's telling me.
After he was gone.
He knows. Because your father goes like this to me. I gotta tell you something. For a man who didn't speak much here in this world, when he had something to say, he had something to say. Because he goes like this. He goes, when your mother got to the other side, he said to her, are you gonna be with him or are you gonna be with me? And she said, I'm gonna be with you. So know that they are together and they are okay. And there's one other thing. Is there also, I keep hearing the name, it sounds like Freddie or Eddie.
Yeah, her brother, my mother's brother.
Oh,
Eddie.
They're also telling me that name as well.
I'm sorry, what?
They're also telling me that name as well when I'm connected because I'm hearing that name whispered to me.
My father's brother is Eddie and my mother's brother is Eddie.
Shut the hell up. And they had passed?
Both.
They're on the other side with the Eddies. That's pretty cool. Because when I kept hearing, they kept whispering, say Eddie, letting you know that they're okay, letting you know that they're there, and more importantly, that they are reunited on the other side. That's pretty cool. I'm going to leave you with that. Give her a round of applause.
Thank you.
I